would be the only one that's able to actually collapse on Aphelios and take him out of the back line.
Yeah, no, he's definitely in a good spot. Just
He's
not.
in a good spot. He's healthy. He's healthy.
It's not as much of a perfect storm as we had last game, but still pretty nice.
And I'm actually quite happy because now I'm seeing a Kai'Sa not being paired with a Lulu, but actually with an engaged
Nautilus.
support.
Yeah.
And we talk about, being able to lock down that Aphelios, you can have the same kind of argument of trying to, lock down, take out, the Viego, the Orianna. And there are so many tools to do that. You look at the Nautilus with the dredge line, depth charge, Wukong's already been mentioned. Syndra and Xin can also do the same thing.
That's true, yeah.
One issue, though, that you will be running into if you're a member of the WNS lineup is how do you actually do anything? Like, how are we doing
buttons,
something
right?
proactive here? Because the thing is that they don't really have much of an engage, but they have a good team fight, but they don't have an engage to start it. And if you're the Viego, despite building like a bruiser, Viego is for all intents and purposes an assassin. He plays team fights the same way as a Katarina or a Kha'Zix. You wait for someone to get low, and then you get the reset and go 1v9. And
I mean, there's stuff to play around with Lulu and Orianna, so he can actually look for something, but it is still really difficult with the Syndra push, the Xin R. Like, it's a bit difficult. It's definitely tough, yeah.
Yeah, like, he can be the engage, but that's not really the best case scenario for him. And it's the same for the Nidalee as well. Like, Nidalee doesn't want to... She wants to hit the javelin and jump in, but she kind of wants someone else to go first.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Neither of them are going to get that luxury.
It's true.
And we did see this actually in one of the previous games. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was, a composition where you didn't have too much engage and you wanted the other team to come in towards you. I believe it was in our third place, best of 3.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was.
But then they tried to run in anyway and engage. And it didn't really work very well.
I believe it was game 2, the best 3. But it's kind of a weird boat because WNS don't want people to run into them.
Yeah.
They still want to be the ones running forward. They just are missing a piece, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I hate Viego and comp.
A Malphite instead of the Viego would really fit this comp really well.
Oh, yeah.
You'd get the Malphite ult with the Lulu and the Orianna ult. I feel like it would just set up for really easy team fights, really easy engages. Viego's a bit out of place, yeah. I mean, it can work. The team fight just needs to be almost about perfect for CNT.
Yeah, for sure. But we look over the other side. Oh, yeah?
I also feel, and I kind of just want to put this out there as a point for discussion, that if WNS can get ahead, eventually, courtesy of the Nidalee and the poke that comes through from the Orianna, you can poke down enough such that it doesn't really matter if you can't engage because you've done all the hard work in poke.
Yeah, that's an element of it, right? They have a lot of snowball going, and as you said, they have to poke. And eventually, like that poke, Lee Brothers just need someone to get someone else low. Usually that's someone engages a fight, the fight happens, and then Lee Brothers will get the reset on Viego. But, a couple of well-placed javelins here and there will do close enough.
Yeah.
Now, I'm seeing Gen Lubu walking towards this bottom side of the map. He's taking the bottom side to Scuttle Crab, and when I look at Aphelios Lulu, that seems like pretty prime tower diving potential, especially when you've got a Nautilus going to shot.
Oh, mate.
I mean, it's a bit dangerous with full sums up, but they can definitely look for something with maybe one more hook and then look for the dive once they get a cleaner trade. It's definitely a possibility, yeah, definitely.
Feels a bit early. It's a
bit early. I feel like one more good trade from red side and they should be able to set up a dive with Zazawa, especially because they know Nidalee's top side.
Nidalee.
Yeah, we've got engaged on the top side and on the bottom side of the map. We'll see where the first blood egg comes. Titan's Wrath, not quite enough to kill the cat that is Lulu. Ignite ticking down,
close,
not
really
enough.
Close.
Dr. Rat did fall on the top side of the map, but kill picked up by Kaita Doctor.
I feel like they have to reset here on Lulu. Like, they don't have a choice. Either they get ganked by Zinzao or they slowly get... Yep, Zinzao's looking for the gank.
Yeah, he's making his
There
way.
is no good reason to stay here without summoners up. You have an exhaust on Aphelios, but that's not going to save you.
They definitely
This is
want that
very...
wave.
Oh! A horrible play from Nautilus, but it might be savable.
Coming through.
A
Can they
good
land the
TP?
CC? Is actually going to come through from
Okay, well, I take it back. I guess there was some opportunities to look for, yeah. That is crazy. Aphelios still having exhaust there is what's nuts. They didn't even have to burn anything for that dive. That's pretty insane.
Oh, wow. I mean, it cost them the TP from Lee Brothers.
The TP, true. But even that was unnecessary. They were fine as it is. Yeah, the wave's not looking great. If Wukong wanted to, he could freeze this here. and kind of just deny him every time he tries to show up for CS.
Yeah, no reason to not freeze that one. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Genlubu mid.
Oriana a little out of position there, and she gets punished.
Down.
Nice, nice. It was a clean gank. It was a really clean gank.
Yeah, just walk on in and pick him up. And fortunately for Wanners in the gank up on the top side, it was Nakira that got the kill. And Nakira's now out on the map with the Darksteel and the Sork Shoes already. So that is a lot of early snowball potential that just gets a little bit hampered by the fact that your mid laner just died. On top of that, because Sen started with the longsword, he's got a really early Noon Quiver. And so this is actually giving a fair bit of power over to Wanners early on, which they might be able to leverage into a Drake awesome action on the bot side, as Genlubu is maybe looking for something top.
Lee Brothers, like, this is the importance of freezing a wave. It just sets up ganks so well for your jungler. And this is it. It's just a perfect gank. No sums on Viego. There's no way he lives here. Just so solid. And the patience on Zinzao, that's the kind of stuff I like. I like that. So much patience. He doesn't just run across.
Great patience comes in, and now it's just 2v1.
Great gank. And now they can shove, and Viego misses the wave he was so desperate to pick up. Yeah, that's great. That's great from PFT here. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy, sorry.
I mean, he's getting very punished for that TP. You know, they lost the wave when it was pushing away. He teleports out, he loses the wave, and now, as he's about to catch it, gets killed. We crash the wave. Let's have a look see at Rat. How much is the wave? Just before we go.
It should give it almost a 2-level lead now to Wukong.
Nick, how big's the wave? Nick, look at Dr. Rat.
Well, the shockwave doesn't leave power. Barney with a solo kill. Never mind. There's action in the mid lane, and there's a Drake being started up as well.
Okay. I think it was about like a wave and a half lost by Lee Brothers there. Maybe 2. They're not looking for the dive, even though they got the Genlubu up on that side of the map. The Drake going away lets them know that Nakira probably did clean out that entire bot side jungle on both sides. So we go in and looking for the counter jungle instead. Just missing out on the wolves though.
And we're seeing a 500 goal lead. Well, there's a 500 gold advantage for the side of Roy. That first Drake already being taken, but still at this point, just 5 kills early on. Not a huge blow up just yet.
Not too crazy. Genlubu lurking around. Might be about to be spotted out. Yeah, seen by the Nidalee.
He is seen by the Nidalee, spotted by a control ward as well, but Lee Brothers able just to walk on out of this one.
They do get his ult, but I feel like the Wukong ult's definitely worth a lot more. It's a great trade. It's a great trade in general for the blue side.
Who's got the shorter cooldown on that one? I'm going to assume that you play a fair bit of top lane, Mr. Speedshot.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's almost even, but maybe Wukong's
That's a pretty big polymorph coming through. Xander will fall, and both of the ADCs will get taken down. Laos the Cat solo.
Great
I think
attempt.
Benimaru should be glad that didn't land.
Yeah.
Well, Benimaru is just thinking about going for like a flash auto E when that comes back up. But he's blown the bone plating. That hooks up soon.
Into Lulu. Although that's a bit risky, I'll be honest.
She has 6, actually. Oh no.
Benimaru getting out lucky, although he might not realize it. Flash forward.
He didn't W.
On that flash.
Javelin toss, that's going to be the unleashed power kiter. Not going to be able to land a second shockwave comes through, but Xander is here and can look to just run down Wanners. He doesn't have the killing instinct available as that Javelin toss almost sniped down Abani.
Ooh, Nikita and Wanners need to make up their mind there.
I feel like a desperate flash there really costs them that. Nidalee needs to play around the flash often just to get into the Q range and to get into Q-go form, to get out after she assassinates. It's really necessary to have flash.
I mean, I think it was working out pretty well to start, but Nakira held the W.
With Syndra's push still being up, it's always just a bit unnecessary, a bit forced.
No, because he had the W and the hunt move speed, so he gets pushed back, but he can jump back in if he wants to. He just
that's killer instinct.
Doesn't.
Wild growth comes through. Genlubu is here. Will there be anything extra? No, not quite. 3v3 in both sides saying, you know what? We've had enough of the cake. We'll back off for now.
Alright. Playing it relatively chill. Nakira actually making their way back around. They'll be spotted by a ward if they go into the river, though. And a couple of pings come out that make it seem that maybe Nakira was already spotted. Possibly by some of those creeps there. But, you know, Send, Last, they got themselves a good thing going on here. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Lee Brothers has gained a bit of a CS lead, which probably makes that goal just about
That is
even.
incredible. I really thought after the freeze early on, like it would be almost impossible for Lee Brothers to get back into the game, but he actually has a XP and a gold lead now, which is crazy actually.
It's pretty good. I'm kind of
That
okay
is
with that
great.
one.
Also, speaking of leads, Obani as well, 25 CS up on WNS, and he may just about have completed his first item.
Yeah, he's got the Luden's comment out. He's got his Ignite up as well as the ult, so WNS needs to be careful. WNS, you know, grabbed the early No Magic Mantle, probably going into some Merc treads with that one, but that might not really be enough versus the Ignite.
Oh, this is a nice setup topside. There's no way Wukong knows it's gonna happen. He has his R up though. It seems a little implausible to gank here.
And now that Dr. Rat has gone in, Kaita shows himself. Rat forced to flash out. Can he look to turn? This drops the second cycle and just a knock up, and Rat will be safe.
Well, that's a great trade. I mean, a flash is always nice, especially when you get Wukong's R off. Should either set up for another dive or just give your lane a prio. It's definitely a good gank nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it does cost them the Viego ult at the same time. Like, I think there's a ward that can be done like a lot better, right? Though we're ganking into the wave, so Nikira can't hit anything.
Yeah,
oh, this is a flank teleport. Dr. Rat's coming
he hasn't got Cyclone.
This is a great
He doesn't have
TP
Cyclone.
from
Gen Lubu is slowly making his way
Nautilus.
as well. They've just got no CC, but the dredge line connecting the depth charge onto Send as well. Double kill for Sanders Kaiser.
That is a great
What's going on mid?
by ones. That is a great setup. The only issue I'd say is Lulu's holding flash, she's holding R. Like they could have definitely survived that without Wukong R there. Like
Midland's getting ganked again. Obani and Wan has traded ults. Obani
Where you gonna go, Obani? Well, you can flash out both skill shots. That's one way to get out of this.
I don't know what happened mid that Obani had both sums up and couldn't
friend
the kill.
But that's a lot of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
That was good, greedy stuff. But the Syndra's playing out of her mind right now. She's playing really well.
Oh yeah.
Her positioning, everything's just going so well. She's up 30 CS as well. Like she's doing really well this game.
Obani Syndra is a thing of beauty, and I've not seen this Comet setup before, but I wonder if that's sort of part of it, where it's a bit more, you know, lane focus, a bit more poke focus as opposed to going for all-ins. But then at the same time, he took he took Ignite instead of TP, so I really don't know if it could just be a preferencing. Either way, it is working out, as he's now got the Sork shoes as well. Again, Wanna's already has a little bit of magic resist, but Bunny's pretty much one-hitting anyone else.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if that might have been a little bit of disrespect onto Obani's Ludens. However, Send is being engaged on, and Sander flashes on out to safety. He's going to let his team do the rest of the work, but the team of Wanners are showing up to the party. The Wild Growth keeps Send alive, and no kills on the bottom side of the map just yet.
Well, Obani's chasing Wanners, though, gets his flash out, and that seems to be relatively free as well.
That's the dredge line. On to Lee Brothers. He flashes forward, goes in with a Heartbreaker, and he will steal the soul of Ajanda. And now it's a 4v2 under tower. Another Heartbreaker in Gen Lubu will fall. Lee Brothers taken down eventually. Allows the cat taking so much damage. Scatter of the week in, and now Obani here to clean up the fight. It's a 2v1, but I reckon Obani feels like he can take this. Unleashed Power will pick up one. Send low, almost taken down. If he had an Ignite, he might have been able to do it, but either way, in the end, it's Wanners who come out on top.
Oh, it's a lot of gold.
It was a great and coordinated dive, but you need to have the mid laner with you there. Wanners needs to be bot side if you're going to go for a dive like that.
Wanners got chunked out by Obani during the play. Like, I think they were waiting for him to turn up, but I think Wanners had to flash out from the stun or something, I would assume, because Obani didn't blow his flash and didn't blow ult either.
By the Syndra. Yeah, I saw.
And if that's the case, you just don't start the dive, right? Like.
Yeah, I guess they just had to back off. I mean, once you've committed to the fight there, you really don't have a choice. But the Wukong gets a tower, and the trade wasn't too great. I know Aphelios picked up a shutdown, but it wasn't that great of a trade to give up first blood tower like that. Yeah,
it's essentially we're thinking, where's the gold going, right? Like, Send got a lot of gold off of that one, but so did Dr. Rat. And I think that right now that's pretty favorable, actually, for Dr. Rat. I mean, one item, much rather I'd be the Wukong than the Aphelios there. once we get later into the game, maybe we're regretting that one. But for now, if Dr. Rat can leave that advantage as opposed to just getting frozen on for the next 20 minutes because the lane's too long, he'll be in a pretty good spot. And, you know, Herald's coming up in a couple of minutes. We've got another Drake fight soon. Dr. Rat has opportunities to, you know, enter the map.
That's true, yeah, definitely.
Something else I want to bring up is Urbani's feeling... Well, he's feeling a little bit cocky here. He's gone for the needlessly large rod. He wants that Rabadon's Death Cap for his second item spare shot.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot riding on him this game. He's got a majority of the kills. He's got a massive lead. Like, the fights are really orientated around the Syndra here. Like, they need to play for the Syndra, and she does need that damage, I think. It is definitely greedy, but I think it can work. She just needs to play the fights well, position well, and she can do that. She's 2 levels up on WNS right now, so...
Yeah.
It's definitely plausible. Yeah, they're giving her the blue, yeah.
We hand it all over. The Herald not going to kill the tower, I don't think. Oh, yeah, it does. Benimaru doesn't pop the eye in time, and it gets that full value of damage off. That's a free tower picked up there for Nakira, and that means Dr. Rat might need to be a little bit scared here now. Map's opening up. Nakira entering into the top side. Nobani will not be anywhere near to help him out. But, you know, I've seen Wukongs win these 1v2.
Yeah,
1v4, maybe not.
Yeah. This is a counter gank on the gank.
Amazing.
He gets the Cyclone, gets the knock up. Now he looks for Lee Brothers. Jen Lubu shows up. So does Benimaru. Locked down and knocked up is Lee Brothers. But WNS and allows the cat show up. And it's a counter gank on the counter gank. But sadly, the second counter gank not quite as good as that from the side of the Obani youth. Allows the cat will get run down. And Dr. Rat is onto a killing spree, Doctor.
Loads more gold going over the way of the Wukong. I was worried. I was worried when he pops the ult and nobody's got aggro yet. Yeah. That's a big moment for a Wukong dive.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got the
second cast, so I think he's okay for the most part. But yeah, it's definitely worrying. Yeah.
All right.
He has the second cast, and I mean, they have no vision of Xin Zhao. It's a very risky gank to go for. A very risky dive into Wukong anyway. Without the Xin Zhao, it's even risky.
And Doctor, I think you kind of just spotted that Aphelios getting taken down. Both ADCs using their exhaust, so I'm presuming Xander just slowed the Aphelios and ran him down.
I assume Benimaru was involved at some point. His ult was not used top lane, he wasn't there, so I assume that half cooldown was something to do with that play. As now with send off the map, looks like a cheeky Dragons to play.
Yeah, just the death before Drake is always catastrophic. I mean, now the red side has that sort of a win con to play around 4th Drake, and they always have that pressure of constantly having priority when it comes to fights around River, because they just constantly have a pressure of dragon control, and it's always scary to be on the other side.
And now Dr. Rat, well, he'll get spotted out by Kaita, but I think he's the one who wants to be doing the killing right now. So he's going to back off. He doesn't have the rest of his team around, but so much damage coming through from that Divine Sunderer.
Big business indeed as the Herald started up, and actually Dr. Rat taking that Blast Cone. Kind of rude. Jen Lubu might have wanted that one, but if he does want to go for a steal here, it is going to be a one-way trip. But Dr. Rat is making his way on from the top side, possibly trying to join on in, get a bit of a flank going. Can't find an E over the wall onto Nikita, and ultimately it is just that Herald going over. Unless Joust is just very far up.
Like he's caught here.
That's the dredge line, and that's Laos getting popped.
Oh.
You can't step up that aggressively as a Lulu.
Yeah, definitely. He went through it like a dangerous path for no reason.
Now Libra is going to be the focus. That's a depth charge under tower. Will flash out to safety. Dr. Rat
has a reset.
Send is going to be the next focus. Benimaru will get taken down. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Obani is here. Watcher for the scatter of the week. He's hiding. They don't know he's there. Now he sees Nikita. Unleash power in. And Kita will get destroyed.
Oh, Lee Brothers lurking there as the Nautilus almost connects the hook onto Obani and cashes in another shutdown, but Obani got the movement, and they can pick off Nikita, turn the tides back in their team's favor.
This game has been 10 out of 10, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he knows where the enemy team has vision, and he knows where to stand, and he's set up for his ult. Like, amazing. He's playing so well this game.
I'm amazed Obani got Syndra. Like, yeah, he was doing this 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think not even just in the finals. I think he played it in semis as well. And then we saw his semi-final game earlier today with a similar performance. And he didn't go for the death cap in the end. You liar. Picked himself up there. Honestly, Honestly, I
It makes
thought...
sense.
Okay, I thought no shot he's going for Death Cap. There's like other things that build out of that. But then the only item I could think of was Archangels.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the point is, if we're being honest, on this here, what you call it, Horizon Focus, because
Lantany.
I've run the numbers, and admittedly, when you don't look at the extra AP value of it, Void Stuff just does more. Well, actually, like, Void Stuff's pen is just more than the condition of Horizon Focus.
Wukong
only
has
exception
TP
is
here to
for...
follow. Nidalee's bot, this is looking really bad for one. Really bad. There's a TP, it's a
Shockwave
5v4.
comes through, it lands onto two. Abani's going to take a little bit of time to join the fight. Xander is the focus from Lee Brothers. Is he going to be able to get the kill? He can. He gets the the Heartbreaker as well, but it's not enough as Jen Lubu picks up the return kill.
Abani picked up Nidalee there too. Wow. I think that might be Baron.
3 for 1 and no jungler available for Wanners. And Doctor, this is just going to be a free Baron for the Abani youth.
Yeah, they'll start it up. It's not going down very quickly, but, you know, Wanners had to reset. He's not really got a lot of move speed on him. Doesn't have the ult back up. You know, I'm thinking there's like a world where Wanners speed runs there, hits a big ult, and then Lee Brothers teleports in and hits a big ult and resets. But there's a lot of conditions that aren't really being made, aren't really being met for that one to come to fruition. And the Baron's secured for all 5 members.
Just a really awkward position to be in with Nidalee bot side and the rest of the team top side, and Nidalee has no real way to follow up while Wukong does. A very awkward position for Wanners there.
So far, so good for the Abani youth. 20 kills, 2-9, nearly a 10k gold advantage. And we've got an Infernal Drake coming up as well in a minute, Doctor.
Yeah, making our way up towards that soul point for the Abani Ute. And that's not going to be that contestable if you're Wanners. I think you hand that one over, say we're not in a great spot. Maybe we look for a pick on top instead, but Nikita can't land that spear. And these are the sorts of fights that we'll start seeing to really exemplify what we were talking about earlier on when it comes to Nikita and Lee Brothers not really being able to do anything in the fight, but Send also can't really get enabled. Yeah. And it's basically if Wanners hits a 3-man shockwave,
on the
maybe.
Top side, that's Nikita and Lee Brothers on to Dr. Rat. No, never mind, it's just Nikita. Nikita will go gold and flashes out. Dr. Rat flashes after, and the crushing blow will pick up the kill. And there is a beautifully placed blast cone, which will allow Dr. Rat to make his great escape.
His way out of that. Meanwhile, the split push
in the center.
Yeah, get the emotes going. Get the Mastery 4 emote. Obviously, the best emote you can ever get is the Mastery 4. But Jen Lubu's making his way down bot as well. He's got a Baron-empowered wave, and Opani is chunking.
That's 1Q.
I mean, they're just
Lee Brothers, mate, you got a
bot side. They're just stalling for him. They can't really stop him at all here. And
I think Lee Brothers
decided
is
to split top lane here.
I think he's recognized just quite how useless he is. And has said, like, okay, we just give the inhib, maybe we don't give the inhib, people defend, we give the tier 2 tower, we give the Drake, and I'll just keep going. Oh, he had the Herald! Okay, so he's pushing on to the tier 2. Not actually sure if he can get it safely.
The issue is giving up this third Drake now. It's just put so much pressure on blue side.
Ah, they were losing it anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
But let's see, can he actually get that and get out? Or are we not going to be able to see the acts of unspeakable violence about to occur? Yeah, Lee Brothers.
He's on the run, and to be honest, even if he dies, which he does, I'll say worth.
I won't.
He's worth no gold, right?
I won't say
Diego
worth on that
can't
one.
really help Siege in the base. Like, there's nothing he could have done if he reset anyway. It's true. Yeah.
I just don't know. Like, that's not a lot of gold for that tower.
I just
like
don't value life.
The kill is worth. The kill is worth more, right? It's only tier 2. Okay, not exactly, but like.
Yeah.
It's also just time off the map for Lee Brothers.
Yeah,
you think
definitely.
if Lee Brothers drops the Herald and then recalls, he can be here to defend this play and maybe hold onto that tower. Although Zenda did also reset, but it doesn't matter. The siege minion is enough to take out the tower, and that's something Lee Brothers could have been there to defend. As now Nikita needs to be a little bit worried. Janlubu can look for a flash charge as an engage if they want it.
This level advantage on Obani is insane. Like, it's really difficult to play into the Syndra right now. He's too far ahead. They need to somehow make a pick on him, but like we said earlier, they really don't have a pick comp. I mean, they have Nidalee's spear and maybe some cheeky engage, but there's nothing really to deal with this Syndra. He's just a powerhouse right now, and there's no real way to deal with him.
And we do have another needlessly large rod picked up by Obani. This time, I'm going to say that's going to a rabbit.
Could
he's
be a
getting
Ramparts this time.
the 24 minutes Seraph's embrace, no tier.
Yeah. I mean, remember when he played in the semi-finals? He didn't even fully stack his tier before he won the game.
He didn't. He had a fully stacked Magi's, but not a fully stacked tier.
Damn.
He was close. He was it was like a 347 or something. But Gen Lubu is looking. Will spot Wan as the
like
player, not Wan as the
They
team.
should have Wukong with them if they want to look for this engage, right? Or maybe even Nautilus.
He might also just be waiting for the wolves whilst people clear waves out. There's an option. He's got control of the jungle. Might as well do it. Right now we're just playing for waves. It looks like we're not trying to throw too spectacularly if we're Roy. Instead, just wait for the soul. Wait for the Baron.
Yeah, it's literally just waiting for objectives right now. It's just slow. No reason to overextend and maybe give up the lead. It's a respectable way to play. It's very safe, but very solid.
Well, 25 minutes into the game, and, well, this is a one-sided game right now, to say the least. 51k gold to 40k gold, and the Obani Utes taking their time right now, Doctor.
Honestly thought you were about to say 51k gold lead. I was like...
I mean, that'd be pretty pog, right?
Pardon? That would be somewhat poggies, to say the least, but... we're not quite there yet. We're working on it, if we're Roy. We're
Game 2, game 2. I mean, it's that stage where you get like a 90-minute game and it's like a 30k gold lead, but it doesn't even matter because everyone's still built.
Yeah.
Right.
This Wukong's so beefy right now, and he can actually one-shot if he gets the chance.
Oh!
Ooh!
What? Obani's dead.
That is a great pick.
Happened.
That really might change the game because Baron's coming up in 40 seconds. That is huge, actually.
Okay, WNS, he has the shockwave available. Can they catch more? Dr. Rat drops up a thumbs up.
Don't kill the... Let him jump to the wolves, you psychopath! Holy moly. Xander. It's okay. I do not look for that one, mate, Dr. Rat. Obani dying, it sucks. It hands over a shutdown, but Obani will still be on the map in time as long as everyone else doesn't die before the Baron too.
They're going to look towards
I mean, a Wukong engage here could work if he gets there now.
There's no depth charge available. There's no more disengage. The flash forward, the shockwave onto Xander, and out comes the Moonlight Vigil. It will not connect, but it does not matter. Shut down for Send, and now he flashes forward. He looks for Dr. Rat. He might get run down. There's an exhaust onto Gen Lubu to buy some time for Send. He's trying his best to kite, but he will fall nonetheless. Gen Lubu and Dr. Rat turning it back around in favor of the Obani Ute.
They managed to find ways to make it a 1v1 for Gen Lubu and for Dr. Rat with those blast cones. And in the 1v1, they can heal up, but that is risky for Roy. Again, Obani being dead, not the end of the world. But others getting caught out next to the Baron when it spawns, that one's a bit riskier. As now they're trying to decide if they actually want to do it or not. They're taking their sweet time. They started it pretty late, don't have the most damage, and Obani's on the wrong side of the map. So
Obani wanted to get the blue first, which is...
Is that big of a deal right now, buddy?
He should have left it. He definitely should have left it and just ran to the Baron.
I thought that they were debating going for the Drake or for the Baron.
Yeah. Now the issue is now they get Baron, but they give up Drake. But if they started this early and Obani passed straight to Baron, they'd probably be able to get both, especially with the...
Maybe.
Well, Obani's passing already back
Wukong.
down towards Drake. They don't want to give it up just yet. And maybe we've seen Obani land some crazy scatter of the weeks around Drake's before. Depth charge comes through. Nikita gets a pop by the Cathian Ray. Now Lee Brothers next on the menu. And watch Obani. He's staying safe. He uses a scatter of the week at the end, but it's not even going to do anything.
Gen Lubu is trying to
forward.
end.
And Xander in with a killer instinct. And as you mentioned, Gen Lubu just looking to push on mid. Xander flashing forward. The Void Seeker misses, but Xander, I don't really think cares. He's just going to fire out the autos. Somehow sidesteps the command attack. Doesn't sidestep the next one. And Gen Lubu says, hey, remember me? Dr. Rat goes godlike. And the side of WNS go absolutely poof. There's a minion wave as well. And at the very least in game one, WNS won't quite be winners. It will be ROI who take game one. And as you mentioned, Spear Shot, a great performance from ROI.
Great performance. Everyone just played this so well, from the Wukong freezing the lane to the Syndra and the Xin Zhao setting up ganks for Syndra, for Wukong. Just played really well.
Yeah, Obani's not getting that Syndra again.
Yeah, no way.
This is not happening.
Yeah.
Also, the Xin Zhao, I feel like we haven't talked about him enough. He set up really good ganks. I mean, he was everywhere on the map at some point. They even had, he secured both Heralds, they secured the majority of Drakes, and he was setting up really good ganks that enemy team just wasn't prepared for.
And I kind of want to throw back to something that you both mentioned in the draft, which was, for the side of WNS, they had no actual engage. Sure, they were never really strong enough to really want to go for a team fight, but you know, after Obani got caught and it was a 5v4 scenario, WNS wanted to find a pick, but they had no tools to really go in for that.
That's true.
And again, that's fine depending on the team, right? Different comps do different things. You don't always need to have someone who's got a go button if you're comfortable playing different types of comps, as you'll see with many like poke disengage comps. It's just that what Viego and Nidalee want is very different to what the rest of the team can provide.
And
right?
Yeah, it's true. The comp just didn't synergize well. They had like you couldn't really tell what kind of comp they were going for. It was more of like a Viego for the side lane / follow up, but they didn't actually have anything to start the engage for him to follow up. It's a bit weird. They had a Orianna, which is great, but they don't have anyone to actually go in for the Orianna ult itself, or even like to follow up with the Lulu ult. I mean, the comp was a bit all over the place.
Yeah. But with that, that's going to be a 1-game lead to Ratiobani here in the WANU Sunday Skirmish Finals. We'll be heading over to a short break before we'll be bringing you back the action for Game 2, potentially the final game of this series. We'll see you in a few.